going on? What up? What up? Welcome to Gardenciti Media and a special edition today with my guy from Hector. What's going on, my guy? What's going on, brother?
Chilling. Eddie, you need a new open, bro.
I know I'm horrible at this. I that's why I need like an opener. I don't know how to do. I'm not good with this shit.
You gotta leave the what up to me, man.
Yeah, so you do it. Why don't we start over and you do it? Because
No. Go ahead.
I think I always am never good at this. Like if I was to come on after the Knicks game, I'd be raging, But right now I have had time pass.
Right.
So it's not as raw and emotional. So
right.
Forgive the horrible opening.
Rage.
Oh yeah, forget about it. Rage is that's not even the word.
Listen, man. The Knicks are giving fans reasons to rage right now too. I don't like to talk too much about the Knicks because I haven't been watching as much as I should. And every time
you watch today's game, you know about today's game.
A little bit. And every time I do watch, it just doesn't give me any desire to keep watching or watch again. Honestly speaking, to be honest.
I understand. I mean, look, man, they're borderline unwatchable. It's now what? I think they're 2-9 or 2-10 since New Year's Eve. That's pathetic. Since New Year's Eve. And that was the game where they were winning in the fourth quarter. There was like 2 or 3 minutes left to go in that game. And it was against San Antonio in San Antonio. And I feel like ever since that happened, since they lost that lead, I feel like a part of their team is gone. And I think the locker room, something's up. The chemistry, something's clearly up. It's just something is off about this team. Clearly, Karl-Anthony Towns is not fit, but he hasn't fit all year. So it's not even just on him. I mean, it's night and day from last year with Karl-Anthony Towns. And
how much is it the injuries, Eddie? How much is it the injuries?
I don't think it's even that.
Hart just coming back, Brunson just coming back, Hart being hurt before that and missing a few games before that. How much do we put into that? I
mean, here and there you could put some, you could put some things on the injuries, but guys haven't missed like long stretches. Well, Landry Shamet did, right? He missed about the first 2 months of the season. But other than that, it's been guys missing just periods, not like, the guys that
Deuce missed like 2 weeks, no?
Yeah, but it's been minor, Hector, is what I'm trying to say. Nothing major. Brunson misses a few games here and there. Katz missed a few. Mitch is forced to sit. Josh Hart's missed the most time out of all of them.
Right, yeah. Josh Hart's missed time like 2 different stints.
To begin the season, right. During he's just kind of not been all right. But when he's played, he's been really good. Really good. So it's not that with Hart. It's just, man, I can't put my finger on it. All I could tell you is Mike Brown had a contract with these guys, and he said, they were all about holding each other accountable, being connected. I got to look at the notes, but he had a contract with these dudes, and he would talk about it after the games. How we want to stay connected, want to hold each other accountable, keep each other up, play as one unit. Where's that gone? What happened to that team? Because I watched that team a month ago, and I watched them win the cup. But they've been anything but over the last month and 1 day. It's actually a month and 1 day since they won that NBA Cup. And they're a team in disarray. They don't know who they are anymore. They don't hit the corner three. They don't play defense with a purpose. It's a team that's just discombobulated. The chemistry's all gone. Again, and it's like I texted you earlier. It reminds me a lot like the Mets. Started out great, looked great, thinking World Series, thinking playoffs, and then, now it's 40-something games into the season. We're
Eddie,
well
I got
past.
that vibe about this team early in the season. I remember posting something along those lines, like this team is giving me Mets team vibes, and
Right.
that's not a good look. Um, I don't know, man. Is it that they're still, you know, getting used to the new coach and the way he does things? Is it like I was asking you a little while before? Gosh, I already forgot his name again.
Mike
Jesus.
Brown?
No,
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes. The Up and
I saw
Smoke.
some comments that were recycled from Matt Barnes, and he talked about how Mike Brown is too much of a player's coach per se, but he's talking about after year one is usually when that creeps up.
Right.
So I don't want to say it has anything to do with that, but maybe are they just still trying to figure themselves out in the new system that
He,
Mike Brown has put in? Has he put in a system? Because I know
he has.
in
He
the
has.
preseason, he still hadn't put in offense and this and this and that. I'm guessing by now he's already done that. Like again, some people will call me a fair weather Knicks fan the way I've been treating the Knicks lately, but it's just that I can't deal with fake hope. And I say
Right.
that it's been fake hope, but all of this hype coming into this season about how the league is, you know, I don't want to say weak, but it's a little down in
The
some,
East, especially.
yeah, because of injuries and stuff like that. And
Right.
the Knicks were like favorites to at least make it to the finals, if not win the damn final.
Correct.
And it just doesn't seem good. And for me, it's like again, and we don't know anything. We try to make assumptions from what we see, but it's like something's not clicking, Eddie. Again, it just reminds me of Mets vibes.
He,
All summer, it was like something's not clicking with this team. And now we find out all these nonsense with the Mets about maybe what was going on in the clubhouse. But and
right.
I don't know but it just today was disgusting to watch. Obviously, the score tells you that much, but just watching the game, it's like, what is this?
Here's what Josh Hart said after the loss. We all need to do some soul searching. How we're playing right now is really inexcusable. Last year, the effort was always there. I haven't seen this lack of effort before today. It's embarrassing. Part of what Josh Hart said after today's blowout loss. So he called it embarrassing.
Mm.
So take that for how you
Maybe
want.
Mike Brown is not demanding as much day to day
As Tibbs.
as Tibbs did.
But there was interviews with the players last year saying that Tibbs didn't even practice with them. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, I heard a lot of things about Tibbs. Tibbs really not that he didn't practice. Like he rarely had practice. Tibbs really had no offense. It was do what you want, and I'll focus on the defense. But Tibbs was also, may
Militant,
not have practice, but
structured.
they knew what he expected from them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
He was super militant. He was super structured. And one thing about Tibbs, there would never be a losing streak this long. Like under the Tibbs era, the longest losing streak was 4 games. That's it. 4 games was the tops. In the Brunson Tibbs era. So like with this squad. And it looks like Cat is totally out of sync. Like he doesn't fit. This dude was an all-star last year. 23 and 14. He was averaging almost 14 rebounds. And now that's gone. It's not even here. So I'm going to personally give Mike Brown till the trade deadline. And that's February 6th. If you don't get it together by then they got to make a change.
What?
Either via the roster. Eddie? I'm serious.
Holy smokes.
You might have to make a major trade because this doesn't work. Right now, it's not working. We bought in Karl-Anthony Towns to be a number 2. He's not even that. We bought in Mikal Bridges, gave up 5 picks, and he's not even the number 3. And
Yeah,
last year it fit
Mikal
better.
Bridges wasn't a number 3 last year.
No,
Listen, to me, Mikal Bridges has been I've been unimpressed with that dude since he got into the Knicks. I know defense and this and that, but like I don't think we've gotten whatever the hell the trade was and whatever we paying out of Mikal Bridges, in my opinion.
well,
Like
look,
what does he bring? What does he bring, Eddie? Really, what does he bring? Don't tell me he used to hit the corner 3. Whenever he did, it wasn't with the Knicks. It wasn't consistently. This dude has scored 3 points one day, 15 in 2 weeks, and then like
yeah, he's
where's the
extremely inconsistent.
I can't.
And how do I pull up?
So
There's
I'm not
a
gonna put that on Mike Brown. Um, Cat again, man. Cat is it's one of those
he's
guys that
soft.
you watch him from afar, and you think, man, listen, that guy, man, it would be nice to have a player like that. And then you finally get him, and now you're watching him every night, and it's like, ugh, this
Yeah,
guy just doesn't have it on a night-to-night basis. It doesn't seem to be that guy that could take you to the promised land where we want to be, what we were looking for when we went and got him. A 1A or a B to Brunson. If
you
Brunson's gonna be the lead guy,
you don't want to know what I thought about today with Karl Anthony Towns?
was that?
I thought, is this guy on the verge of a decline? I know he's only on 30, but understand something. He's been in the league for 11 years. Do you know the average career for a number 1 pick in the NBA for how long it is? Take a guess. How long the average NBA number 1 overall player
Well, number
career?
one pick. Geez,
Yeah,
I
the
think it's
length.
what 7, 8 years at least, and I think that's low.
That's low. It's 11 years.
Oh, okay, so he's right there.
And guess what season Cat's in?
You just said 11, no?
Yes. So I'm thinking, not everybody can go like LeBron and do 15, 20 years. Maybe this is the start of his decline because clearly when you watch him early in the career from the post, he was much more agile. He was much more versatile. He was never a high flyer, but he had other tricks in his bag. I don't know what happened to that dude. Again, I just think I think it's his genetics. I think it's who he is, who he's
I
always kind
also
of been.
think he needs to freaking mentally be better.
That
What
too.
is it with the Knicks lately and big men and always complaining to the refs
I
over
mean,
every little thing? And that's what I see also from Cat. That drives me crazy, bro. And I think it gets him out of his game a lot of times. Because he wants to complain to the refs. The
and it's a
team
bad
decides to be
look.
down at the other end, and he's still crying back here about a
Not
foul that
getting
he didn't
back on
get.
defense.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The team is down at the other end, and he's still down here complaining or getting himself up off the floor because he didn't get a foul call or whatever.
No. And that's part of the contract that he signed with Mike Brown. That stop complaining, hold each other accountable. The players on the team need to tell Karl Anthony Towns, shut the fuck up and get back on defense. We're here to fucking play. We're not here to hear you bitch. You're brought here to win, not complain to the refs. Can you imagine what this looks like? And now this is why people bring up Giannis. Hector, this is why people bring up Giannis. And let's be perfectly honest. If you're the Bucks, do you want Karl Anthony Towns back for Giannis? Exactly. Exactly.
Oh boy.
Knicks got to think long and hard if this works. And if it doesn't, come February 6th, somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to hit the door. You got to hold. You got to be accountable. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, where I'm at is I'm so sick and tired of this with all of my New York teams. This constant just turnover after turnover after turnover because they just can't get the job done. And I don't know if it's us as fans being impatient too and not wanting to see things through. Because again, to be fair, we just hired this guy, and you're suggesting firing him. what
Well, I was more
three,
talking
four
about the
months.
players. Heck,
No, no, but earlier you said
a change.
you said you were ready to fire him, and
Wasn't
yes, and now I and the players I get, the players I get. Um, which way you go on that, I really don't know. I'm not even gonna fancy to try to make things up and fool the people because the people are not to be fooled, and people
huh?
are too smart, and they're gonna see right through it. Like I said, I haven't been paying as much attention. Some people will call me a Fugazi Nick fan or whatever you want to call it, a front runner or whatever. But there's nothing to front run with the Knicks, anyways. It's just I need to see substance, and
I
we don't get a
agree.
lot of substance from these teams. We get a little bit of hype, we get a little bit of a tease. Like, look at Mitch today, bro. What was his final line? I don't even know what his final line. But the fact that this dude in the first half, at one point, I think he had 12 and 12.
Yes.
This should be every night. This should be every night. But and I had a feeling this was gonna happen today because he was all over social media. I don't even know exactly what the
Yeah.
hell was
He
going
said
on.
goodbye, and it was weird.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of nonsense. I remember I even commented on somebody's post where him talking about, oh, I was told to just rebound and defense. What else
Yes.
can you do? You can't do anything else, dude. We see videos of you in the off season, hitting threes and jump shots and all these, but
Dribbling.
right. And then when we watch these games, you can't handle the ball. And I feel like Mitch should be a dude that, you should be a walking double double because obviously you rebound.
And he
You should
rebounds
be
well.
able to
He's
get
probably the best offensive rebounder in the league.
the best offensive rebound in the league. So that to me, you should be able to get at least 2 to 3 tip-ins a game, bro. That's 6 points right there. You should be able to just tip the ball in.
Alley oops too. They need to implement that. They never do.
Okay, but I'm just getting started, Eddie.
Yeah, and you're
You
right.
give me 1 or 2 oops a game. That's 10 points. This should be the easiest double double ever, bro. And this dude, even the rebounds. One day he'll give you 18 rebounds, and then you for a couple of games, it's like 4 or 5. But and this year is tough to judge because I know he hasn't, his limits time, his minutes are limited,
Yeah, yeah.
and
He's
they're
he's,
giving
he's
him
on a
games off and
restriction.
stuff like that. But this team, New York sports just make me sick, bro.
Hector, for I think it's the fifth night in a row, fifth game in a row, they've shot under 45% in the second half for the fifth game in a row. That's been their issue. Second half, the defense is obvious. That's the effort's not there. That's clearly obvious that they need a defensive overhaul. But the offense is even more, it's glaring too. This was a team that put together that's supposed to be hitting threes, hitting corner threes, taking it to the hole, scoring in the paint, getting second chance points. They don't do none of that. And they don't do it when it counts anymore. So I'm sick of it. But enough on these Knicks. I'll get
Please.
back to talking about them later.
You pulled the what do they say? Okie doke.
You know,
Yo, so you want to do good match? Yeah, sure. And opens up talking Knicks.
well, I mean, I think it is important for the New York sports fan right now.
No, of course, of course, of
I
course.
think it's very important to them, and I'm here to talk about everything. But
Not for
let's
sure.
talk about a
We'll
nicer
talk about it.
subject.
Just
A nicer subject.
for now.
So, something that's finally looked like it's hopeful. Something that's building up. Something that's looks like they're a newfound team, the New York Mets, and their new third
Rebuilt
baseman.
Mets.
What was it?
The rebuilt Mets.
The rebuilt. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Early on in the offseason, people were getting pissed off at me because I was saying the Mets are rebuilding, but I still see it that way. And I always say that doesn't mean that we're going to be a 100 loss team and that you're going, straight rookies and so on and so forth. It just means, bro, when you subtract as many players as the Mets did for whatever reason, whether the players decided to walk or we traded them away, and those pieces are as big as those guys were, you're rebuilding the
Of
team, no matter how
course.
you do it, whether you bring in guys that are equal to their or not, and obviously that's kind of where we've gone. But yeah, man, it's the Bichette signing was huge, man. The Bichette signing was huge because it finally gave fans something to hold on to, Eddie.
It gave
It
us hope.
finally gave fans something to say, okay, and it looks a little crazy, but maybe there is a plan, Because even then, some people try to say, this makes no sense. We're just reacting.
I actually was so happy when that news broke because obviously 12 hours before we got the Kyle Tucker news to the super team Dodgers, and you're like, they just paid this guy $60 million a year? Like,
Ridiculous.
are you kidding me? And the fact that Mets fans are going nuts saying, oh, we have no plan. We have no plan. The Mets and David Stearns and Steve Cohen, what I've learned is they have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Go down the alphabet. They got a plan.
Yep.
And they enacted that and they showed that the second they got Bichette. Because Philly, the night before, said, it was Bo Bichette asked Philly for 7 for 200. And Philly said, here you go. And the Mets said, oh, yeah? I'll give you 3 for, what was it, 126?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how about that? And to me, that was excellent because I think we needed a right-handed bat more than we needed a left-handed bat. And we needed a guy most that can hit in the clutch. And that's what this guy does. He hits in the clutch. His numbers with runners in scoring position are insane. I could pull them up for you real quick. I got them right here. Runners in scoring position, heck, his batting average is 330. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs, 310. Okay, Polanco, runners in scoring position, 306. 298 with 2 outs. Simeon, 275 with runners in scoring position, 253 with 2 outs. Now, compare that to Alonso, 266 runners in scoring position with 2 outs, 223. Nimmo, 286 with runners in scoring position, 258 with 2 outs. And McNeil, actually pretty good, 286 with runners in scoring position and 273 with 2 outs. So
Are these career numbers or
yes,
2025 numbers?
career numbers. That's pretty good.
No, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Listen, a lot there, so I'll start from the end because the way my brain works sometimes, I can't remember everything. Um, but I've been saying since Simeon and then Polanco. Okay, everybody wants to keep talking about we've lost the home run, and yes, we've lost home run power. We've lost home run power in numbers. We're probably not going to be able to replace Pete's home runs with one guy.
No.
Nemo was starting to hit home runs, but what we've gained is guys that are going to put the ball in play. So yes, Pete could hit us a home run, but there's a lot of times that Pete was going to strike out. Well, these guys are not going to strike out. And the more you put the ball in play, the more you have a chance of something happening. Whether that be a bloop hit, whether that be an error, whether that be something, a CNI, whatever the hell it
Yeah,
may be.
you're forcing the
I'll
other
take
team.
the ball in play any day over a damn strikeout.
Yes.
I'm not a three true outcome guy. You understand what I'm saying?
I
So yeah, we're gonna be a different team, and we're rebuilding this team in many ways, in players, in philosophy, and how we're gonna do things, coaching staff. It's a bit of complete overturn this offseason in a lot of ways, of a lot of departments, of a lot of things, of a lot of aspects of the team.
yeah.
And to
And
me, these are things that are gonna make us better.
oh,
Again, you just said these are the things that we struggled with. How many times, for the love of God, just put the ball in play? Just put the ball in play. Hit the ball the other way, whatever the case may be. Man on third, man on second and third, 2 outs, less than 2 outs. I mean, 1 out, you know what I'm saying? 1 out. nobody out, and we don't score a damn run because the approach was terrible. You know what I was thinking about earlier today? Is a quote like something I always talk about. I talked about it on Blunt Thoughts. I talked about it on Mess Talk Unfiltered. A couple of times that you've had me, I think I've mentioned it. I don't give a damn where I am. Something that always drove me crazy was this Jeremy Barnes quote that I still have it saved here somewhere, where he talked about, yes, we may let go a pitch that we could put in play to get to that other pitch that we could hit for power and hit out of the ballpark. And,
What is
and
that?
that made me sick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the way that we seem to be going right now. I really do. I
I
really
do.
do.
I do too. Again, my everlasting memory of the 2025 New York Mets was me at that game in Miami on Sunday, and we had, I think it was bases loaded. I think they were up 1 or 2-0, something like that. Pete Alonso comes up, crushes it. I think it was his hardest hit ball of the season. I thought it was gone because just from the sound. And of course, it goes into the other player's mitt. They catch the ball. And that was my forever memory of that team. Just not getting it done when it counted. And especially with 2 outs, especially with runners in scoring position, I was sick and tired of it. And the strikeouts would drive me nuts. It would drive me nuts because we'd have second and third and no outs. And we would have moved the runners over. We wouldn't get sack flies, wouldn't throw down a bunt. Like, just play. Give me small ball. I don't care. Score no matter what. And they never did that. And I'm happy that we have guys who are different because I'm with you, Hector. I don't like passing on a ball you can't put in play. What are you kidding me? If you could get a single and drive the runner in from second, you're going to not take that opportunity because you want to hit a 2-run or a 3-run homer? That makes no sense. It's always be closing. And in the Mets case, always be scoring. That would be my motto. Always be scoring. And like you said, when you put the ball in play, you force the other team to make a play.
Exactly.
And they don't do it 90. They might do it 9 times out of 10, but there's going to be a time where they make an error. There's going to be a time where they drop the ball. All right? There's going to be a time where you push the other team and good things happen. They throw the ball into the dugout and you score 2 runs because you get that extra base. So I will take contact over those 3 outcomes. I will take batting average over those 3 outcomes any day of the week. And I like what we're doing. Now, I don't think we're done. I still think there's work to be done because to me, we haven't addressed the most important issue, and that's the starting pitching. Where are you on that?
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Listen, I think we'll get some bounce back. I'm not down on David Peterson like everybody is. I thought he was good. You know, I wonder, and I think maybe he hit a little bit of a wall, hitting his high in innings last season, and that could have something to do with it. I thought Clay Holmes was pretty damn good. I got to be careful how I say that because I said I thought Clay Holmes had a great year in a video or something. Somebody jumped all over me like, "Great year? What are you talking?"
He had a very good
calm
year.
down. I get it. Like, don't take everything so literal. But I thought he was great. For where he was coming from.
Considering.
Yeah, considering he was a reliever making a transition, thought he was pretty damn good. He was consistent. Everybody was crying for him to go to the bullpen from fucking April 15th, and the dude finished the year out pretty damn good. So I'm excited to see about what he's gonna be. And obviously Nolan McClain, right? We all think this dude is. We're already writing his ticket to Cooperstown, right? And let's hope it plays out that way. But there's no question that this team needs someone to put right up there with Nolan McClain. Yes, they need a starting pitcher to put right up there with Nolan McClain and really to take the pressure off. I really believe that. which is something else that some people try to jump all over me when I said it a couple of weeks ago. Bring somebody in to take the pressure off this kid,
I agree.
and he may, it may not even matter. He may come out right, guns are blazing again, and say by his play, no, I am that guy. But I would feel a lot better if we went into a season where, whoever, and you could pick it. We see all the rumors now, Freddy Peralta. I've said from the beginning, I've always thought that was the move because I just feel like it's something that Stearns is going to be comfortable with. Now, of course, there's will Milwaukee want to deal with him and all that stuff? I think that's overplayed. I think if they could get a satisfactory package, they would do it. But I always felt like it's a trade that David Stearns will feel comfortable paying the price for because he knows the player, right? He knows the player. And I
Yes.
also think he's going to feel like it's a player that he can probably get to agree to an extension before even going to free agency, right? Because I know he's a 1 year rental and people are afraid of that. It's a good question, Jennifer. That's a great question, actually. That's a great question. If Alcantara wasn't coming off the injury and all that, I would say Alcantara, right? I think he's the better pitcher.
I would say Alcantara because he's got 2 years.
Yeah, but I'm not so much concerned about the years. I'm concerned about production. And I'm still a little...
You're a little leery, but like his second half was really good.
Back. But yeah, I would take Alcantara. I would take either one. You give them both to me.
Yeah.
Can we get them both, Jennifer? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Alcantara is probably the better. He's the better player. I'm just a little worried, although I know he had his up and downs last year. So either one, but no. Listen, to answer the question, we definitely need a starting pitcher. Yeah, I don't know if we could count on a Scooble trade. We'll see.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't even know if the Tigers will even trade him, and I worry. Everybody keeps saying that if they do, the Dodgers are going to make a push, and apparently, even if everything has gone on, the Dodgers are the number one farm. Did you hear that? I think.
Yeah, I read that.
The number one farm system. So
the rich get richer.
Right. So they probably have the package to go out there and get them. And that would be just disgusting, bro. That would be disgusting. It really would.
If they get Scooble, I mean, look, the good thing about baseball, Hector, is super teams don't always win in baseball. They can win. I mean, the last super team in baseball to me that won it all was the 2009 Yankees.
But I just don't. And
I guess last year's Dodgers we could call a super team too.
I don't know how you can be a team in the league right now and complain. And I don't know where the Tigers stand on this, right? Complain about what's going on with the Dodgers to the point where the talkers said there's going to be a lockout because owners are not happy and so on and so forth. And then you go and you trade them a Scooble. And again, if they give you the best packaging, that's what's best for your organization. I guess you have to make the move. But it just doesn't. Listen, honestly, the fact that we're even talking about being able to trade for Peralta makes me sick. And I think it's ridiculous. Bro, he's getting like $8 million a year. Milwaukee can't pay that. They can't keep him.
Right. So, all right. So that's where I was going to go with this.
Like, the fact that these teams handle their business like that, to me, is disgusting, Eddie. But I'm there for the benefits of it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Like if the guys are available, go and make the trade.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
What I was going to say is, I question whether Scooble and Peralta are really even on the table. Because think about it. The Milwaukee Brewers had the best record in baseball. Literally best record in MLB. Why would you get rid of the best pitcher you have to a rival team? Like, to me, it makes no sense. Now, Scuba, I understand he's going to probably get he's probably going to get $500 million next year. Let's be honest. That I could understand. You want to recoup something. But again, even the Tigers, what did they advanced out of the wild card round, correct? I mean, they won one series, I think. So why would they just trade these guys? That, to me, like you said, I'm here for it. You want to trade them to me? I'll take them. I'll snatch them. But I'm just questioning it.
Yeah, no, it makes no sense, bro. That's why I actually get excited. I get happy when I see teams extend guys. You know what I'm saying? When I see guys, they
Like cheap teams.
yeah. Like there was any team like who was it? There was recently somebody that got extended that I was like, that's a good thing. I like to see that. I like to see that. I like to see guys stay with their team.
Yeah, who was it? The Royals, maybe, or
But it was somebody that was close to being a free agent, maybe like a year away or so. You know.
I,
But
I
yeah,
I know who you're
exactly.
talking about, but
That's
I'm
why they want to trade him. But that's terrible to me. The fact that they
right.
don't feel like they can extend a player like that.
And you got the best record in baseball. And you're just gonna give up your best pitch. Like to me, it's crazy.
It is, and I don't know who his agent is because another guy that's not conducive to that is Scott Boras. That's another. I mean, I need to research
I'll
this.
look up it right now.
I need to research this. I need to research how many Scott Boras clients actually forget about extension, even in free agency, return to their team.
That's a good
Like
question.
he makes it so hard for players to keep for teams to keep their players. They like right now, dude. There is nothing. There is absolutely not a damn thing that the Tigers could do to extend Tariq Skubal, and that sucks because that's what they
Right.
should be trying to do. But they can't do that in good faith because no matter what they offer, this dude is not going to accept it, and he's going to take that as his basement to start his negotiations in the offseason.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, and I'm glad he said it. That's his client. He's formerly of Clutch with LeBron. Now he's of Aces Baseball.
Whose ace is it? Is there anybody we know?
It's an agency.
Do we know who they have? I know they had because I
I'm
seen
gonna
this
I'm gonna
before.
look right now.
I've seen this before. Aces. I know they have other players. I wonder how they handle their players. But I also said that I've heard mentioned that Peralta's um camp is open to extension and stuff like that.
Garrett Cole, Spencer Strider, Zach Wheeler. Now I hold on. I don't know if this is right. No, that's not accurate. No, that's just me. No, that's not accurate. I gotta look
Anyways,
up
it doesn't matter.
agency.
You know,
I never heard of it. Okay, it says they have some guys. I mean, it's got a big website and everything. But however, with that said, I would love a Scooble. I just can't see it happening. If I'm being perfectly honest. Again, and imagine the package that they would want. It would probably kill our farm system. So
yeah.
if I was to make that deal, I want to re-sign him. I want to get that like what we did with
Like
Johan Santana.
hold on, if one trade kills our farm system, then our farm system isn't as good as we claim it to be.
That's
You know what I'm
a really
saying?
good point.
The
That's a
other
really
thing
good
is,
point.
I don't worry too much because part of the rebuilding and everything that we've done has been also the infrastructure. It's been in the minors. It's been development. It's it's been all of that stuff that we've brought in people here, scouting, all of that. Right? I don't even call it scouting anymore. So that even the whole thing somebody said before, we're not going to sign any free agent that has a qualifying offer attached. I'm not so sure about that. Now they're not going to recklessly sign a free agent that has a qualifying offer attached. But I really believe that if it's a player that they feel that can make a difference, they will sign him. And there was an article by Will Salmon in the Athletic yesterday that suggests as much. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of a deterrent, but it's not like an end or be all. It's
Right.
more about who the player is that they're attaining and the financial cost also attached to it. But they're not gonna not sign the guy because of it. You know what I'm saying?
What's
So
the kid on Arizona? Hector, the pitch, Zach Gallen.
right.
I've read a lot about him, and there's been a lot of talk. And again, I've learned that all the talk is just that talk. It means nothing. And as you mentioned, the qualifying
And
offer,
I
someone in the
apologize. Sorry,
audience.
buddy. I apologize, Eddie. Excuse me. Keep yawning and stuff. I was up early. I'm
Don't worry
tired.
about it.
Anyways.
Buster says Bellinger doesn't have a QO.
Yeah, I don't know if he does or doesn't, but Buster's the one I believe that also said before that the Mets wouldn't sign a pitcher tied with a QO. So Bellinger, pitcher or not, I'm just saying I don't think that's gonna be
It's
like
not going to hinder the Mets, is what you're
no,
saying.
I don't think so. No. Um, but yeah, I think he's right. Bellinger doesn't have a QO, but the Bellinger situation is very intriguing, man.
Very.
Again, you hear that the Yankees are ready to walk away. And listen, that's another thing. I'm not mad at the Yankees for what they're doing, bro.
No.
I'm not mad at the Mets. And that's what I was gonna say before, man. When I said you said a lot there, and I started with I forgot what the hell I started with, which was the last thing that you said. But another thing is, dude, David Stearns and Steve Cohen having a plan. And it's a plan that, yes, a lot of it frustrates us. A lot of it frustrates us, right?
Well, I think in the beginning, when we lost everybody and didn't do anything,
Yeah.
I think that was just emotion.
Right. Right.
And I think
But
every Met
but
fan
but
felt it
also
that
the
day.
way that David Stearns approaches free agency, right? And he doesn't want to give out the long-term deals. He doesn't want to pay guys in their 30s and so on and so forth, right?
He's
Now we
smart.
now we get this short-term high AAV. And as I've been saying it over and over, it's something that I can't be a hypocrite about because it's something that I've always preached. So I appreciate that. But what I was gonna say is they've had a plan, and their plan is we're gonna wait. We're gonna set our
Our
parameters,
terms.
right? Our value on these guys. And if we could get them at our value, we'll get them. So their idea is right now we're at a point where we don't want to do long-term deals really with nobody. Because you could argue that, shoot, giving Kyle Tucker's a 8-year deal is a bad deal. It depends, right? Maybe for the Mets it is because of the players they already have, and right, and how that's going to fit in a few years, and who's going to have to be DH and so on and so forth, right? And position switches and all that. But
And
really, what
he's also fielding has fell off a cliff the last
yeah,
2
that's what I'm
years.
saying. So because of the
Yeah,
fielding falling off a cliff, he may end up being a DH. You got Juan Soto, whose fielding is questionable, who may end up being, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about without
exactly.
having to say all of that, right? But dude, they were almost able to get him at their value, right in their wheelhouse, where it was going to be a short-term deal, and yeah, the AAV was going to be outrageous, which is something I was thinking about earlier today. I always talked about wanting short-term deals with guys, and I'm okay with it, even extending you when we get to the end of the deal if we both feel good about what was going on and we want to continue the relationship. And I could have you be a lifetime Met, but I don't need to give you the lifetime Met contract from the onset. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm gonna keep saying that over and over and over. I hate Juan Soto's 15-year deal. I hate that 15-year deal. I hate it. I really do. Whenever I think
Thank
about
God
like
we
this guy's
got
gonna
it.
be with us 38, 39, 40, 41 at this out in this, but then I also think, okay, inflation and everything else,
It's not going to be that valuable.
you know what I'm saying? It may not be. Anyways, the point is, dude, you saw my post. If the Mets were able to sign Kyle Tucker, we might end up having to build a statue for David Stearns.
Ha!
My stupid ass said that, right? Because he waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And it's something that I talked about and in a way that wasn't flattering, but this whole we're gonna be opportunistic. And it's like, no, man, be proactive. You told us you were gonna be proactive. Be proactive. But guess what? Being opportunistic, they almost landed Kyle Tucker.
They
Being
did.
opportunistic, but not so much opportunistic, right? Because you hinted at it, you talked about it a little bit. While they were pursuing Kyle Tucker and putting on the full court press, in the background, they were also laying groundwork
Yes.
or
Plan
touching up on
B.
the groundwork that they had already laid down in the GM meetings
Yep.
with Dante. I keep saying Dante with
Oh.
Bo Bichette. I'm gonna be 50 later this month, so that's why, guys. Sorry. um,
Well, Dante's a borderline Hall of Famer, so.
right. but they were already laying this groundwork for both, so that when they didn't get Tucker, yeah, it was a pivot, but it wasn't a panic pivot. How somebody tried to
No.
say it wasn't they panicked and they went. No, and who knows? Maybe they would have brought both those guys. I don't think so. I don't think they would have made both moves, but maybe they would have. Who the hell knows? Listen, they're still maybe going after Bellinger, right?
Well,
And
let's get into that.
they may play that market beautifully. So if
Let
they're able to continue to do things like this and win out and bring guys in on these type of deals, which don't get me wrong, the AAVs are outrageous. $42 million for a Bo Bichette. It's outrageous to me. The $50 million offer to Kyle Tucker and then 55 AAV.
60.
No, but we made 50 and then
Yeah, I know.
we started the nonsense. Forget about the 60. Don't get
I
mad at that.
know.
We started the madness
55.
by making a $50 million AAV offer and then upping it up to 55.
It's nuts.
Those numbers are like, ugh. But the way the years and stuff are being handled, I'm not mad at it. Now, eventually, you're going to have to, actually give somebody a real contract. And I'm sure they will. But I've said it over and over, man. We may not understand the plan. We may not agree with steps of the plan, but there's definitely a plan.
Oh,
And I also believe it's in the best interest of the New York Mets, and in David Stern's eyes. And he's the one that's in charge. It has to be in his eyes. Obviously, he has people that he talks to. But there's a plan.
When it comes to Cody Bellinger, because that's the hot topic right now, I believe that the Mets are doing the same thing with him. I think they're waiting the market out, and they're going to see if they could get him on maybe a 3 or a 4-year deal. Tops. But it's going to be a high AAV. Probably higher, a little bit higher than Bo Bichette. I'm thinking maybe 45, maybe 50 over 3. I wouldn't be surprised. If they did that, I myself would not be mad at all because A, I'd put him in either left field or center field, preferably center field. And you also have the option of moving him to first base, which I really like a lot. So that's what I like about Cody Bellinger. He's so versatile, and you could rest guys, and you could put him all over the place. And his defensive metrics are insane. So if we were to get him at a high AAV short-term deal, I'm happy. What about you? Where are you?
Who would be upset at that? You're adding a quality player, right? And I don't. Again, I'm somebody that's with that, man. I don't really like the super long-term deals, especially for guys at a certain age. So he's definitely at an age where I wouldn't want to give him more than 4 or 5 years, anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
Tops 6 years, but he doesn't have that kind of market. Listen, if anything, if I learned, I learned is the market definitely speaks. And why bid against yourself? And the market right now doesn't seem to be there for Cody Bellinger. His highest or his biggest pursuer is the Yankees, and they're struggling to come anything close to a deal. Would I be mad? Hell no, I wouldn't be mad. And again, the AAVs are outrageous to me. Every single one of them. It's but whatever. It's only for 3 years.
Right.
The bad part about the money is when you have a guy for so long, 7, 8, 10 years.
Correct.
And it's like, oh my goodness, we can't even get rid of this dude.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So 3 years, 45 AAV, it's outrageous. What would be 135 million for 3 years? But it's only 3 years.
That's why I don't. Yeah, that's why I don't really get. I don't care. Armad says, I think 35 to 37 AAV. I think it's going to be higher than that, Armand. I do. If it's a short-term deal. Now, if it's a long-term deal, you might be right. But I would think he's going to end up with a short-term deal just because of the way the market is. Again, he's not Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's a much more higher on base percentage. I know he's more versatile, and I know he probably fits the Mets more. I just think if the Mets were to land him, it's like Hector said. It's going to be on their terms. Short, high AAV, probably no more than 3, maybe 4 years tops. And like you said, even after 4 years, he's going to be what, 31 this year? 31, 32, 33, 34. I mean, he's not getting any younger for sure.
Right.
So,
No, and I think that's another thing as fans, we need to be fair now. And we need to recognize, like, we've talked about for years how these long-term deals are bad deals. We talked about it for years. Met fans a lot were very worried about Brandon Nimmo's deal, right?
yes,
So
everybody talked about, oh, that's going to be a terrible deal. Now it looks like peanuts.
yeah, no, but so it seems like teams are also recognizing this and they're saying, you know what? Rather than be stuck with these deals for years and years and years that it takes a long time to be able to get out of, and it delays the changeover or whatever. We're gonna do these outrage. We're gonna give out this outrageous money, but it's gonna be for a short period of time. And even look at the Mets, 3 for 126, but he could opt out after one. So it
Huh.
could just be a 42 million, 47 million dollar commitment because
Yeah, for
I
the
never
first year's
seen
47.
I never seen where you have to actually have to give a guy $5 million to opt out, but that's basically what they're doing.
What else is in that? It's just, isn't there a way they could keep him though, or something?
It's been conflicting reports. I haven't seen anything in concrete or from anybody that's really like I don't even know where the people that are putting it out there are getting the
yeah,
information from. But apparently, it's no. It's if he opts out, he gets an extra 5 million. I don't understand it. I thought it might have been like the Soto thing where if he opts out, we could give him an extra 5 million and he stays. But with
that's what
this
I
guy,
thought.
yeah, with this guy, it seems like no. He opts out and okay, thank you. Here's another five. Huh?
You know what I think? I think he's going to be here for the at least 2 years.
Yeah.
I I think he's a Met for 2 years because that's
Hey,
big
listen, he
money.
may come here, he may love it. He said, you know what? I'm not opting out. I'll stay right here.
Yeah. So we touched on almost everything. I think the
Armand
last
says that $5 million was to make him screw the Phillies, and I'm okay with that. That's funny.
ha
Yeah, and it was. I saw your comment, Armand. It was funny to see them crash out all weekend.
they were
Yeah.
going nuts. Some of them jumped in one of my fucking comments and told me "fuck you" or
Oh no,
something.
no, no. They're like what are their shows? Like I guess they're
One of the podcasts, right?
yeah, their version of the hot the SNY's hot stove show, whatever.
Right.
Well, I don't know if it was a podcast, but I know they have like Ruben Amaro Jr.'s on it and stuff like that too. But the one that I saw, he wasn't even on it. Then I think they did another one and he was on it, and yeah, he was talking a bunch of nonsense too. But yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny. It's great. Now we just got to beat them on the field, which we've been doing a pretty good job of. Just got to keep it going though.
So last thing before we wrap,
Hey, shout out to
where,
Henrik. What's up, Henrik? Who says he
Henrik,
doesn't
shout
think
out
the
to
Knicks
you. We,
play it
we talked
properly?
Knicks to open the show.
Right.
Sorry I didn't answer that.
That's all good.
I think it's a player problem too, Henrik. Real quick, it's Cat, it's Mikhail. These guys need to be giving you more, and they're not. Cat needs to be the guy he was last year. Fortunately, he's not. So that's real quick. I'm disgusted with the Knicks right now. Disgusted. Disgusted. I can't say it makes me sick because that's somebody's line, but they make me sick. Or they make
It
me
makes
want to
me
throw
sick.
up. There you go. So Henrik, I'm sorry I flashed over that, but that's that. Philly show Ruben Amaro is part of it. Oh, okay. So last thing I want to say to you, Heck, there's been some reports that came out this week after the Bo Bichette signing that we are going to use Brett Beatty as a super utility man. How do you feel about that? Because me personally, I like him at third base. I think he's good there. I think he's solid. But again, the Mets, David Stearns, they're much smarter than I am. They have access to a lot more information than I do. How do you feel about the fact that they might use him as a super utility player? Because I kind of want to just stick him at third and say, you know what? You play there and put Bo Bichette out in left field. I don't want to see Beatty in the outfield. That's just me.
What was your question?
When it comes to Brett Beatty, and they said they're going to use him in the Jeff McNeil role and as a super utility player, I personally don't like it. I want to see him at third. I want to see him grow there. I think he did a good job there. I don't want to see him at second. I don't want to see him at left. I'd rather Bo Bichette go out and play left field, do some DHing, whatever. But I said I don't have access to the information that the Mets do because they got all the info on these guys, fielding metrics, all this stuff. They got scouts watching their every move. How do you feel about that? Because I personally don't like the idea of Beatty.
How do you feel, Eddie? Golly, I'm just trying to set something up. Ask the fucking question so I can tell you my real answer.
How do you feel about it?
It makes me sick.
There you go.
I set that up. Listen, it makes me sick. It makes me sick that people are fucking picking this guy as the, unquestioned third baseman before we made this move. Which I get it. He's better defensively than Vientos. It makes me sick that people are saying that this guy's going to be a better major leaguer than, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He finally breaks out. He finally breaks out last year with that ugly ass swing of his. Right? And I'm supposed to believe that that's it. This is it. This is the future at third base. So yeah, all of this nonsense, all of this talk, there was a mock lineup put out there with him as the DH or at first base. And I'm like,
I saw that too.
What is this? I'm not trying to force this guy in the lineup. And listen, shout out to some people on X who have some great responses. And some people said, no, you're the one that's trying to force Vientos' bat in the lineup. Well, you damn right I am. Because it's a better bat. It's a better bat. So I'm not caught up in the whole run prevention crap because let's be honest. We haven't done anything about run prevention. And I know all of this stuff. These guys are athletes. They're middle infielders. Why wouldn't they be able to move? I subscribe to some of that too. I think Bichette should be able to move to third base. But at the same time, it's not like he was a gold glove shortstop. Right? He already struggled at defense.
No, he was bad.
He's going to move to third base. We hear that his arm is weak. How the hell is Polanco's going to be at first base? I don't freaking know. So don't talk to me about run prevention anymore. Don't talk to me about run prevention anymore. So put Polanco at first base and give me Vientos at DH any day of the week 100 million times over damn Brett Beatty. But that's just me. Okay. Oh, but look at his numbers, Hector. He was so much better last year. Okay, that was last year. Again, how do we know that Brett Beatty now he's not going to struggle and he's not going to be figured out?
See, to me, he showed me a lot last year. And I get it with Vientos. And I actually understand your point. This dude hit like almost 30 home runs in 2024, had a bunch of big hits, came through in the playoffs, and then he just fell off a cliff last year.
His high is so much higher than Beatty, bro.
Well, okay. We don't necessarily know that either. Because Brett Beatty has never really played the full year.
Neither has Vientos. Even last season when he came in as a third baseman, as soon as he struggled, which was right away, they pulled the rug under him.
I don't like that.
He wasn't really given a chance to struggle and figure it out, and they set him up for failure. They should have had his ass second. I said it from the beginning. They should have had his ass second in the beginning of the year and stuck him there between Lindor and Soto. Don't give me all this nonsense about Soto got a bad second. I'm giving this guy $50 million not to be a table setter, but to be a fucking run producer, to be a game changer. But people want to be satisfied because he fucking takes walks. It makes me sick.
But I like, to me, again, I just saw something in Beatty, especially in the games down the stretch. I saw something in this guy. I did, me personally. I believed in him. And I thought, okay, he showed me something. Well, because after he went down in the Marlins series, the fucking team collapsed. And they all said it. We just lost this guy. And I think that was part of the reason they didn't make the playoffs because Beatty wasn't in that lineup.
Give me a break.
Well, That's me. I believe in
That
Beatty.
shows you how weak this team was
Well,
mentally and every single way. Brett
I,
Beatty.
I don't think
Brett
you're
Beatty's
right,
why they
but
didn't make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs because they fucking stunk for 3+ months. That's why they
did
didn't
they
make the
not?
playoffs.
Did they not say our big bat just went down?
Well, they're
He
not
was
gonna
playing
say
good.
big bad. Of course, they're gonna say that they just lost a piece, but it's not like, oh my god, season's over because we lost Brett Beatty. Come on, give me a break. You kidding me? That shows you how much they stunk
I think Bo
mentally.
should be in left field. I think that's the easiest place to put him.
Who?
Shortstop to left field is the easy place to go. That's me.
They may do that, but that's another thing. Everybody's speculating and writing, mock lineups. Who the hell knows? I mean, they did say Bo's gonna play third. They apparently, according to Heyman, the Mets say Bo's gonna play third. So I guess we could go by that. But even the lineup that SNY put out, that's their idea of a lineup and stuff like that. Maybe they come to that conclusion, Armand. Maybe they say, you know what, Simeon is better at their base. Maybe that's
Or,
something they do in spring training,
or
or even
maybe
before then, in
or maybe they
consultation.
just put guys all over the place, Heck. Maybe
Which
we're
don't
gonna
make sense.
see like Beatty in left one game, Beatty at third, Beatty at second, Simeon at third, Polanco at first, Polanco on left. We don't know. I know the run prevention, but we do have options now. We could put Vientos at DH.
A lot of them are forced options, though. A lot of
True.
them are forced options. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really like that whole mix and matching and moving guys
I
around
don't
and
either.
the
That's
whole
why I said
lefty
just leave
righty
Beatty
thing
at third.
because you're asking guys to actually be perfect almost all the time, right? The whole platoon stuff and I get it. Sometimes it's what you got to do, but I don't like when there's too much of that going on. Me personally.
Yeah, I personally would just rather Beatty win it. I hope he wins out the job at third in spring training, wins it out, goes into the season, comes next year, gives me 275, 20 homers, 70 RBIs, get on base, get some big hits, and just play a good third base. That's all I want. I'm not
I don't know.
asking for 30 homers.
I don't
I'm
know if
just asking for solid.
I don't know if he's in a position to win that job, though, Eddie.
Well, we'll find out.
I don't know if he's in a position to win that job. The only way that he can maybe win that job is if Bichette is so bad in spring training, they say, you know what, we can't do this. This is not gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
So then he's going to be in left field.
But they're not coming. Where did you get that from? When has he
Oh,
ever been in left field?
it's been written about.
Bichette in left field?
No. Beatty in left field.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like
They also mentioned.
you're talking about him winning a job at third base. There's no competition. That's not that's
So
not
you
what
think it's just going to be Bo at third and
that's you don't give him $42 million so he could compete for a fucking job. You understand what I'm saying?
well, I mean, there was talk that he could be in the outfield as well.
Where'd you see that? I didn't see that.
I forget where I read it, but I read it.
Yeah, I just don't think that you bring in a guy like that and then you say, yeah, we're gonna start experimenting with you. Well, he could have just gone to Philly and played third base. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
obviously he's not gonna play shortstop.
No, he can't play short.
And I think that would be more appealing to him than I'm gonna go over here and be a super utility guy. Like I don't think he's at that point in his career. He's been
Yeah.
an everyday shortstop. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And he's 26 years old as well. You dig? It's not like a Beatty who's been fucking just trying to hang on to his career and finally figured it out. You know? So I just don't think third base is going to be really that much of an unless like I said, we come into spring training and Bichette is just a mess.
A disaster.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they're like, you know what, this is just not gonna work. Yeah, Beatty, come back to third.
Or even like Armand mentioned, maybe even Simeon goes to third.
Oh yeah, or maybe they do that and try him at second base.
Yeah, I could see that happen. And again, availability and versatility is everything. If you're available to play every day and you're versatile, that's a big thing, especially today's baseball. It's a good thing.
Yeah, that's the key. Today's baseball. I would rather availability because you're my everyday third baseman and you're available. Like Francisco Lindor and the whole post thing, right? But he ain't versatile. You're not moving him all over the place. but he's available every fucking day to play shortstop. I'd rather that.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? Juan Soto may not be great out there, but he's available every day to play right field. I'd rather that than a
There's a
guy
rep-
that we got to move you around because you're just not good enough to put in one spot.
there's a
And then
rep-
you have the rare guy that he's just that good that you can move him around. I get it, but when there's too many guys like that, it's just because they're just not good enough, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, remember last year down the stretch we had we're putting Nimmo in center field, we're putting McNeil in center field. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I'd rather just like you give me guys that play the same position every day. I call me old school, call me whatever. I like that. I like knowing, putting on the TV and knowing who I'm going to see at that position. But that's just me.
Yep.
But new school baseball is, oh, well, this guy plays here, yada, yada. That's the way they put teams together. Because they don't buy players anymore. You buy wins. Let's be perfectly honest.
Right.
That's the way it goes.
This thing has been weird today. I'm surprised that anybody's found us today, Eddie,
What do you mean?
because I don't see it on X. Like it doesn't show up that
I
we're
don't.
actually
Are
streaming
you talking
unless
about the stream?
yeah. But
Uh,
obviously there's people watching.
I have my streams. I see it. I see yours.
Well,
With
I'm not
that
sure.
said, any final
I'm not. I'm
thoughts?
not.
This is
I'm not
probably
seeing it on. I'm not seeing it on any of my devices. I can see it if I go on my profile. Yeah, I see it there. But you know how the things they show up on the top. You know what I'm saying? And you see what the video streams and what are just spaces. All I'm seeing right now is spaces. I'm not seeing any video streams. I don't know why.
maybe shut down your phone,
Bro,
exit
it's
out.
all my devices.
Oh
All my
shit,
devices.
it's on mine.
It's showing up on the top though.
Yeah, it's on
Wow,
mine. I got
wow,
me and you.
it's crazy.
We're in front of everybody, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 spaces going on and 2 video lives. We're the 2 lives.
Yeah, no, I see a tons of space. I see tons of spaces going on.
Yeah, there's a baseball space going on now. There's 2 Knicks spaces. God help those spaces. Any other closing thoughts you got for us, Heck?
Nah, man. Listen, just see what happens, man. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens with Bellinger, and let's see where we go for pitching. We definitely need to go somewhere for pitching. I know Stearns keeps telling us through the media and whatever he has spoken about how high he is on these guys and the young guys coming up and so on and so forth. I know we as a fan base are extremely high on Nolan McLean. As a fan base, I don't know anybody that's higher than any of the other guys. Nobody,
Well,
there's no
David
trust
Stearns is.
for any of the other guys. And it's fair because there's a question mark attached to every single one
Yep.
of the guys in our rotation. Even a McLean. He
Yeah.
still is a rookie. I know
Pitched
we're
what,
high on
70
him,
innings?
and he looked great, right? So, but we don't really know what he is. He projects to be a very damn good pitcher. Dare I say
He
a
just
starter?
got
We
married
don't
too,
know.
by the way. So shout out to him.
Congratulations to him. Again, I already mentioned Peterson and I mentioned Holmes, but the things that I mentioned about them are question marks. How is Holmes not going to bounce back in his second year starting? And how is his arm and his body going to deal those innings? You know what I'm saying? Handle those innings. Is Peterson, was it he hit a wall last year? And is he going to come better prepared? And I know I sound like a broken record with this because I say it all the time. Who the hell is Kodai Senga? Right? We still don't know. I like the fact that he wants to come back. It looks like he's going to be back, but there's still time. Right? But it looks like he's going to be back. But who the hell is Kodai Senga? Will he stay healthy? I think that's the biggest thing. Is if he stays healthy, he's pretty damn good.
He's great.
Sean Mania. Who's Sean Mania? Is Sean Mania the guy that came in early, right? Like a Nolan McLean. I don't know. I don't want to throw any names. But he came in early in his career when he jumped on the scene. And it was like, oh wow, who's this guy? This guy's gonna be pretty damn good.
He's incredible.
And then bullpen and this and this and that turns things around in 2024 with his arm slot change. But then we get 2025. So who the hell is Sean Mania? Is he a starter? Is he a reliever? If he's a starter, is he a back end of the rotation guy? Is he a high 3-2, low 2 guy like he showed to be? They even flirted with almost being an ace. Question mark. Who's the other guy? I forget who's left. But they're all question mark. Every single, I think that's all 5 of them. And then you
Yeah.
have depth, yes,
Yeah, the
but the
kids.
depth is question marks. You got 2 young guys in Tong and Sproat that we saw a little bit last season. Tong who looked a little bit over his head, Sproat who looked decent. He
And you
looked
got
good.
Christian Scott coming back.
And then you got Christian Scott who's coming back from injury. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Let me ask you.
So yes, go get me a Framber Valdez. Go get me a fucking Peralta. Go get me a Zach Gallen. You want to tell me Joe Ryan? Go get whoever the hell it is. Now some of them, eh,
Joe
but
Ryan, Zach
exactly,
Gallen.
exactly, exactly.
Same.
You know,
Yeah. Now, since you answered, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to go first. I think if I had to pick out of any of the pitchers, not named McLean, not named Holmes, if I picked the guy that come back, who's going to have who's going to be very, very good next year, if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Manaea. I think he's not going to be hurt. And I think we're going to go back to seeing the guy we saw in 2024. Because let's be honest, he was hurt all last year. He was never the same. He was rushed back. We were in the midst of a collapse. He was expected to do too much. He tried too hard. Now he's got a whole season to chill out and be the guy who he was brought here to be. Now, I know that's a big gamble. I know it's sort of a hot take because the better bet is really Senga or Peterson because they're more established, especially Senga. But I'm going to say Manaea because I think something clicked in him in 2024. And I don't think that goes away because he shut down that Dodgers team in that one game. And that's something. So that's my take. Who's your guy?
what is it exactly that you're asking? And this is not a setup.
No.
this one is not a
If
setup.
you were to pick one
Okay,
guy that comes
in
back the
rotation,
strongest,
like it started to come.
yeah, not named McLean or Holmes, who
I think
comes back
Manaea
the
is a good pick. I
strongest?
think Manaea is a good pick. Obviously, McLean, Holmes, whatever. But no, I actually think Senga's the guy. I think Senga's
Okay.
the guy. I think I'm silly, people, but I think the fact that he's talking about wanting to come back, I think he might. I think this might have
Where
actually.
did he say that, Heck?
Excuse me.
Where did he say one of the guys? I never read anything about him.
It was reported that he told the Mets that he would prefer not to be traded.
Okay. Oh, that's really good.
It was reported by Salmon, Tacoma, one of those guys.
Okay.
Um,
That's great news.
yeah. So I think that's part of him probably realizing like, yo, I owe this team something, you know. And I'm hoping that coming into last year, he talked about having a little bit more trust for the organization. Now it's tough because they just got rid of Hefner, right? And they were starting to build that trust. Hefner spent some time in the offseason and all that good stuff, whatever. But I think that maybe something's finally gonna click with him. And bro, come on, we've seen the talent, dude.
Yes.
Like he's flirted with ace type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, number one up top.
Strikeout
We kept saying
pitcher.
last year, like, yo, he's gonna Cy Young, Cy Young, Cy Young. He's gonna be able to fight Cy Young All-Star game. I know Joe and Clark kept harping on that, and unfortunately, he got hurt. So
And he was never the same. That's the one thing about him, though, why I picked Manaea. Because any little injury throws his whole game off. He just becomes Senga just gets like unraveled.
He has a little DeGrom in him, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Where everything has to be perfect. Everything has
Got to have a 6-man rotation.
Yeah. You know, I kept saying that last year. You know, a fingernail, whatever. It has to be. Everything has to be
Perfect.
lined up. The weather has to be perfect. The aroma in the air of the stadium has to be perfect. If they overcook the hamburger and the sweets, he could smell it, and it's not good. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if the sushi ain't right. So yeah, I get it, but I just think he's gonna be able to actually put all that together. and make sure that if everything is not right, he can actually still perform. I really believe that, but we'll see. But I listen. That's the one thing about this staff. With all these question marks, you can pick just about anybody.
Yeah, you
You can
really
pick just
could.
about anybody.
Like Armand mentioned Peterson going 7 innings multiple times, but that was in the first half. Second half, we didn't see that. He's
Yep.
like he's another guy. He's just like Senga. Kind of everything got to be perfect. An injury, he gets an injury. You kind of don't see the best of Peterson.
Yep.
So let's hope he turns it around. With that said,
Look at this, but real quick. I guess this was on I just see it on my phone on MLB Network. Cliff Floyd. I didn't know Cliff Floyd was
the
making
trade. I saw
yeah,
the trade.
trade proposals.
I saw it.
Mesge Peralta for Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, and Jonathan. If we could switch Jonathan maybe for Sprout, and I still don't want to give up on Ronnie. I actually was having that conversation on X with somebody. So I guess I don't like this trade. Forget it, because I'm switching two parts of it. But I trade Brett Beatty if I'm gonna trade anybody right now, and I had to pick one of those guys out of Beatty, Mauricio, Vientos, Acuna, is gonna be Brett Beatty. Eddie, before we do go, because I do got to go. It's 15 minutes past my.
Yeah, I know.
Time for you.
That's why
My
I kept on trying to.
I know that was my fault. I kind of prolonged it, but I gotta ask you this, bro, and just please be quick. What the hell do we make of Luis Angel Acuna, bro?
I don't know what to make of this guy. I don't know. 2024, he practically saved our season.
I know.
When he filled in for Lindor, he'd get clutch hit after clutch hit. Then last year, he's a disaster. Not in the field, but at bat.
And how much of that was his fault, though, right?
Who knows how much of it? You had two hitting coaches telling him two different things. This guy's a contact hitter to me.
Right.
I don't think he's a home run guy.
You know what I'm saying? It's like up and down.
It's all over the place. I think he's trade bait, if I'm being real.
You think what?
I think he's trade bait. I think he's going to another team. He's going to be that throw in that.
He's that. I mean, he definitely did a lot to maybe hopefully build up his trade value,
especially this winter.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking.
I know.
Because of this winter. I'm not asking because what he came up. No, I'm asking because of all of that, but specifically because of this winter what we're watching.
It's insane.
Like what the fuck?
Right.
So I don't know.
I mean, I kind of want to keep him. Right? Be that super glove guy that comes in, late. Maybe you get him in the lineup and maybe.
I have a problem doing that with young guys, though, man. Is that fair to him? You know,
not really.
Like, I have a problem doing that with young guys. That's a dude that go out there and exhaust trying to play every day first. He needs to be somewhere where he gets that chance, in my opinion.
Although one thing I'll say, heck, the Mets kind of need him really bad. Because God forbid something happens to Lindor, you got nothing. Bo Bichette would be a disaster at shortstop. Acuna would be solid, and we know he'll be solid. So that's the one thing I'll say. We kind of need Luis Angel Acuna. So if it was me, I'd keep him, but I think they're going to trade him.
They might keep him just because of that. Born Mets fan says Brett Beatty's a better baseball player than everyone had to mention. Mauricio can't hit righty, Acuna can't hit period, and while Vientos has tremendous power, he is one-dimensional. Listen, I'm exhausted by this argument. Only time will tell. But I am telling you this. You and everybody else that can't wait to get rid of Mark Vientos is going to eat your words when this guy is out there consistently being an impact bat. But
he definitely will.
But Brett Beatty's a better baseball player. Whatever. I'm out of here, Eddie. I don't even want to get into that.
Look, you know what? It's a good problem to have.
No, it
Because
is.
you know what?
And I'm having fun, boy, Mets fan. Don't worry.
1 or 2 or 3 of those guys is probably going to get us a good starting pitcher. So I don't really care. And even if they go out and they fucking hit, Vantos goes and hits 30, 40 home runs, hey, if that gets us a Peralta in return, I'll take it. Because that's what we need. So I'm cool with it. I'm okay with other guys going somewhere else having success. Because you got to give to get.
Absolutely.
So that's it.
And at the end of the day, all we care is about this.
Exactly.
Trying to get a parade on the Canyon of Heroes. Shut this shit down, Eddie. It's past my bedtime.
Hector, appreciate you hopping on, brother. Good night, everybody. Appreciate it. Let's go Mets, and Knicks, you better get it together soon. Good night.
Peace.